Hey guys, what's up? Pitmarthroy here, and welcome back to Stardew Valley, here on Fantasy Farm. Let's take a look, well, first and foremost, at the Queen of Sauce. I think we've already done tortillas, so we'll skip past that. Spirits are still mad after the entire first week of fall. They have been either mad or very mad the entire time. Not much luck there, it would seem. Well, perhaps we can have some good luck elsewhere. That would be very preferable. But first, let's get these casks up and going again. And figure out what we are doing today. I guess we could show off the new daily routine and how it works of just coming in here, petting the animals. We don't really have any need for the hardwood anymore, so there's no need to go and pick it up for the time being. So we'll let them out, so they are free to peruse. Normally we would check the mushrooms, but the mushrooms are only on even-numbered days as of right now, so we'll just toss that in here and move on. We'll go and get Callie some water, and that will do it for our morning routine. A lot different than what we're used to, but I figured I'd give it one quick showing just so you could truly get an idea for how it will go down. Alright, let's check for crops here first and foremost, seeing if anything is grown. Yes, you've scared off crows. I'm proud of you. Well done. Looks like we got some corn ready here. And it also would appear we've got new ideas to sleep on, so ladies and gentlemen, that is farming level 10. We're down to mining and combat for our two skills that we need to continue to work on. Very excited and very happy with that. Alright. So, where do we go from here? Well, we've gotten our coop situated. Everything's fully upgraded. I've got all the animals that I want in there for the time being. The only two that I would still want, I don't have really access to right now, so we're not going to worry about that too much more. Our options for right now are upgrading the barn and continue to upgrade that, to donate the money bundles to get to the bus to unlock that. And aside from that, really, what else do we immediately need to do? We could process these, I suppose. Perhaps we'll mull that over while we go down to the traveling merchant and see if they've got anything available. Perhaps they will, perhaps they won't. We don't have another birthday for quite a while, not until the 11th, so both this video and the next, we will not have any special birthdays to look out for. That is an artifact we don't have. Yeah, maybe we will make a trip down there if we're still deciding. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything here. No, not really. That I too terribly want. The stool is kind of cool looking, but we need to focus on saving money right now for the barn upgrade, the animals that will be in that barn. At some point, of course, too, we'll need to upgrade the house as well, so that will be something else. I think for the time being, I will probably do a little bit of research very quickly and see what exactly is required for that barn upgrade. But first, I will grab everything in this chest. I'll grab these, and then I'll be right back and figure out exactly what we need for that barn in terms of both stone and wood, and then we'll go from there. Alright, we are back. You can see on screen now we need 12,000 G, 450 wood, and 200 stone. Stone-wise, we're good. Wood-wise, we're good, but we do still need that money, so we will need to work on some profits there. Though I will very much say the temptation to just continue mining to work on those skills for combat and whatnot is definitely there. And one thing we could obviously do is we could just make bars and just keep selling them as well. That is one option. More coffee, that's good. I believe we've already given both of these. Yep, so we can just sell those back. Tiny little bit of profit, I'll take it. Hey, Gunther, thanks for the key. I need to show that off as well. Put this here for now. The arrowhead will go here. I think we'll do that. We'll show off the key real quick, just to give you guys an idea of what all is down there. Because again, I still have not made a decision, and we've got to show it off at some point, so why not today? The sewer. You unlock the sewer hatch with a rusty key. Let's hop on inside. There's a couple things in the sewer. We'll start over here. This is Krobus, a human visitor. This is most unusual. I'm Krobus, merchant of rare and exotic goods. Sorry, I'm still a little wary of humans. My shop is still open to you, however. You can take a look at what is available in here. There's some really interesting stuff. A star drop is one of these things as well. His inventory will change slightly, depending on the day. Some of these are ones that will always be here, but keep an eye out for certain things. I think iridium sprinklers are available if you're looking for those. You can buy those here. These first three things we've already seen. The Void Egg. It is a jet black egg with red flecks. It's warm to the touch for 5,000 G. If you would like more Void Eggs, you can take this to a coop, put it in the incubator, and you will get a Void Chicken. It'll be literally a black chicken with red eyes, and you can have that drop more Void Eggs for you. This is one way to pick up this item. I might do this at some point if a chicken does not appear, because each night, if you have a coop and an empty spot for an animal to live, there is a small chance, as long as you have, I believe, a chicken, that a witch will show up and curse the egg into being a void egg, and then you could put that in the incubator as well. So I'm going to wait on that for the time being, since money is kind of important right now. These are just decorative pieces. Monster Fireplace, Star Drop, we know what that does. The Crystal Floor, this is kind of a cool recipe, and I always like this one. I'm going to end up grabbing that one. Wicked Statue Recipe, Wizard Catalog, so this is for Rasmortius's furniture. Butterfly Powder, sprinkle on pets to remove them from your farm. The process is irreversible. Well, don't do that. And of course the Return Scepter, which will allow you to return home at will anytime you right-click with this on your toolbar. Obviously, it is a pretty penny as it is 2 million, but it's a pretty good ability to have. You can fish in this water, as it turns out. Mostly you'll get carp, but there is a legendary fish in here as well. And we also have the Statue of Uncertainty. This statue can help you change professions, make an offering of 10,000 G. Should you choose to do this, you can swap out any professions. Oh, there's a barrier there. We can't go that way. So if you don't like, for example, if you didn't want botanist, like I picked up recently, and you decided you wanted tracker instead, then you could do that. I'm just showing where this other area comes out. This is normally in spring, where you would get the spring onions. So this is the other entrance to get to that area. The one in town's a little bit more in the way, but you could absolutely go to either one. So there you go. And we can get a Blackberry for showing that off. Nice little bonus. Blackberry season is coming up pretty soon. Hey, Jazz. Shane's gone a lot, and Aunt Marnie is busy all the time, so I have to invent my own games. I'm thankful for all my toys. Yeah, I don't know where... Well, I do know where she's probably gone to, but yeah, she... The running joke is she's never manning her store. That's why there's one of the books that you can pick up that will enable you to use the teller even if she's not there. It's almost like they knew. So we'll put some of this stuff away. Was there anything else I was taking and I just, like, completely forgot? I guess it might have just been this eggplant and nothing else. Let me double check. Do I have anything here? I don't have a large egg yet. The pumpkins we're still waiting on. I could take the gold star corn, I suppose. But I think, honestly, we're better off waiting until we get a bundle complete, so I'm going to leave that back in there. Otherwise, this is winter foraging. This is the sandfish. This is the money bundles. Apples we're waiting on. Rabbit's foot we're waiting on. That's going to be in the winter. And duck feather we're waiting on. So it looks like probably what we will have left in winter will be the nautilus shell, the... What else? The Nautilus Shell, the Winter Crops, and I think that'll probably be it by then. Hopefully we'll have unlocked the ability to get to the desert by that point. Let's take a look at what we've got in here. So one option that we could absolutely do is we could just keep working on building up gold and just selling the gold bars. I'm going to sell like 5 of them. These sell for $7.50 each, so they're a pretty good profit turner if you don't need the gold. I do need the gold, but if I'm going to go back and continue to mine more gold, it's not too bad as long as I keep track of exactly how much gold I'm getting on each day. Then I should be able to make sure that I'm not actively losing too much from that. Despite the fact we do have the stone for the barn, we don't want to forget that A, we need to build the barn up twice, not just once. So 200 is not going to be enough. And it will be more the next time that we upgrade it. And even if we had enough for both upgrades, we still want to have stone for other projects too. So we need to keep that in mind while going forward, so I am going to continue grabbing the larger rocks as well as these gray ones here. Both for the EXP and also for the stone itself. If you're wondering, is there a... Excuse me. There we go. If you're wondering, is there a better spot to get EXP? Are there monsters that can give you more experience? There absolutely are, yes. It's just not currently available to us. Trying to be a little coy, but most people watching to this point probably already know where that is. In fact, you can probably think of a few spots, maybe even a few quests, where they would be much stronger. But this is just a little side bonus. The gold is still primarily the focus here. Said it would be nice to get mining to maxed level for sure. Because we're at 9 on that, right? Yeah, we've only got one more level to go. And whether we'll get combat upgraded first, or leveled up first, or mining leveled up first, will kind of just depend on what the game decides to give, to be perfectly honest. Let's get back out here. We are still making coal by taking care of some of the rocks, because these gray ones will give coal sometimes, as well as other things like the barrel right there. Can potentially give you stuff. So we're not too terribly bad on losing the coal either. I'm going to move the gold up here so I have an idea of, and the stone as well, give an idea of how much I've got of that, since that is my focus down here. I do want to keep an eye on that health. Been so used to frolicking up in the medium levels of the mines, not the deeper levels of the mines, that I haven't had to worry about that as much, but enemies do more damage, and they do take more hits to kill down here. So I don't want to go just walking around and getting myself offed. I've avoided that so far, and I'd like to do that as long as possible. Having it not happen while just going through the traditional get to the bottom of the mines was good, but I would like that streak to continue to stay alive. I could have waited for that bat, sure, but honestly, it's fine. this one here, and then this big one here. Those big ones will give you 10, so it's a pretty good amount if you're looking to quickly grab a bunch. If I remember correctly, the bombs do not blow up those big rocks, though, so be warned about that. Don't bother trying to use bombs if you're specifically trying to get those bigger rocks. It's not going to work. Could be wrong about that, but I don't think I am. We'll just keep on keeping on and see how this goes. Potentially I might make a quick run back to the farm just to see if the gold that I put in there is done. And if it is, we'll sell that and swap out some more pieces for it. See, I already put away 5, but I've gotten back 28, so everything that I sold I've made back. Which is why I'm like, as long as you're careful, then it should largely be okay. Yep, looks like these are done. Put some stuff in here. I'll put in the fire quartz, but I think the rest of this I'm going to sell outside of the, you know, these things. The mixed seeds. Mixed seeds don't sell for anything anyway, so... The void and solar essences are good items, however, they also sell for a fair bit too. This will give me a basic idea of, like, if it's worth going through the mines and working on the Monster Hunter and leveling up and also making some money, but if I'm barely making anything by doing this, then I might have to consider switching up this idea. But we'll see. Quick peek down here. Once again, I want to be able to see all this, so there's those two in the coal primarily. Oh yeah, and there's those down here too. We could potentially find more Omni Geodes. It's a bad luck day, so those are going to be a little bit lower chance to find. But yeah, we absolutely could pick up some Omni Geodes too. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted 80, not 75. Well, there's a whole lot of nothing there. We'll just keep at it, and we'll see how the story ends. I'm glad this is producing at least a tiny bit of coal, though, because that was my one worry with this strategy of, like, oh yeah, you could sell them, but in order to make the bars, you also need the coal, and coal has been an issue. Those double gems coming in handy. With the Crystallarium recipe available, which I guess I didn't show what that requires, is gold, iridium, battery pack, and stone. With those, I don't feel as bad about having a lower amount of gems, because as long as I keep one, I can make as many as I'm willing to wait for. Most people usually just figure out, like, all the gems that it can duplicate that are worth duplicating, and then you just make that many crystallariums, and you just always have them working. Which, as long as you get the resource for it, I do agree that's probably your best bet. Some more broccoli seeds. How long do those take to grow, by the way? Take 8 days. That's not too bad. And now we've reached midnight. Thankfully, it doesn't take too long to get back, so I'm thinking probably about 1 o'clock is when we'll head on back and tally up our results, as it were. Because remember, this looks kind of low, but I did drop off a bunch of stone and what have you, so this isn't the entire amount of everything we gathered here. Make maybe one more quick run here since it's not quite one. We'll see if there's anything of immediate importance. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, I'll just smash this barrel, then we'll go. Nah, it's just a little bit of wood, like 4 pieces. I'm okay with passing on that. Alright, we'll see how this turned out. I'll go ahead and throw the gems in there this time, I think. Put in those. Void essences, sure. I think everything else we can basically keep here. Throw these in as well, and we'll see the results of how everything went. Ah, right, the level 10 farming. Choose a profession. Artisan. The artisan goods, wine, cheese, oil, etc. are worth 40% more, or agriculturalist, which is all crops grow 10% faster. The 10% is nice, don't get me wrong, especially for the bigger crops. But stuff like the wine and the cheese being worth almost 50% more than what it already is, I think most people probably agree this is the clear winner between these two. Okay, so we made about 35. That's about what we would make fishing, honestly. That's pretty close. It's not quite there. Let's see, that's the red mushroom. This is the other. Yeah, so if the essences and stuff go in here, we can add these together. So that's probably about 4,000 of it. So, yeah, that's not too terribly bad by comparison. Fishing would probably make a little bit more, but we wouldn't be gaining levels and stuff like that, so it probably is ultimately better that we stick what we got. The bookseller's in town. Spirits feel neutral for once, and it is going to rain tomorrow. Well, with the bookseller in town, that will probably mean... Wow, we all of a sudden just have a bunch of coal here. With the bookseller in town, that probably means I'm going to check and see if I can manage to get those books sold for a decent price. We'll see how it goes, I guess. We do have enough to upgrade the barn, so we'll probably do that today as well. Delta, I've got a new item in stock. It's called the Auto Grabber. This thing can gather your, this thing can milk your cows and goats, shear your sheep, gather eggs, and pluck your woolly rabbits all on its own. It's considered a luxury item, so I'm charging 25,000 G, Marnie. Yeah, it's a pretty good item. It basically means that anything that your pets would, or that anything that your animals would give you, you just get it. It's just automatically put in that machine. You don't have to go and fix it up. Delta, I made you a little treat this morning in the saloon. Dig in. Your friend Gus. Oh, Gus. You're too good to me, my man. Hello, it's Blackberry season right now. The bushes are full of them. I want to pick some, but I lost my basket. Can you help, Linus? Yeah, sure can. Dude, why can't we date Gus in this game? Like, for real, he's not married to anybody. If we could date Gus, there we go. That's problem solved on who would want to romance. Just romance Gus. We're already broing down pretty hard here, so, like... It's like, not only is he a good guy to, like, you, the player, because you're his friend, but, like, even when nobody else is looking, to people like Linus, that the townsfolk generally kind of get a weird vibe from, that they're not super big on, he's nice to Linus, too, when literally no one is looking, like... It's a good case of he's a good person when it comes to who you are in the dark, which, if you've not seen that trope, is basically, you know, like... If no one is around, like, you know literally no one is there, up to and including if there is a god. God himself, like, could not see what you're doing. Would you still do the right thing? And if you'd still do the right thing, then guess what? That means that you, are still good, regardless of, what other people might think. Harvest 100 cranberries, ship 100 cranberries. I'm just gonna dump them all, this first batch, anyway. We'll just ship them all. We're gonna get more of those, so it's no big deal if we wait on them. So, there we go. For the Blackberry basket, we'll check that in a... Well, no, we can check that right now. I know where that is, so we can just go and get it. The Blackberry basket is up here in an area that we don't really look at all too terribly often. Oh, hello. But it is over here. If you go left of the bus, you actually can come over here. I think we've gone here before, maybe for the salmon berries, but here's the basket. Found the berry basket, better return it to Linus. Most people usually see that walking on this road right here. They might catch a glimpse of it and realize that's where it was. This isn't a timed quest, despite the fact he's saying, hey, it's Blackberry season. But, you know, it would be nice to give it to him sooner rather than later. Alright, so that barn upgrade, let's take a look. 450 wood and 200 stone. Let's go ahead and grab that real quick. Okay. Okay, there we go, that's that. These blackberries are going to start replacing our salmon berries. Here you can see the difference, too, just from quality alone, because I think otherwise they're the same. Is 25 and 11 versus 65 and 29. So it is a very, very big difference. So I will not feel as bad using up the salmon berries if I do need to. So let's put this in here. I'm gonna store the... I guess I'll put it in here for now. I appreciate it, Gus, but I kind of want the free inventory slot right now because we're going to be picking up a lot of these. Blackberry season runs the 8th through the 11th, as Linus just said. It has just started. So, like with the salmon berries, you will see more as days go on, but I do want to go around and pick those up because, again, pretty good healing items. They're not like the best in the world or anything, but it's free. It doesn't cost anything other than time to just go and grab these, so... We'll run around and pick those up. The chanterelles are pretty good at max quality, too. It's about 200 energy. So yeah, we'll run through the forest, pick up what we can, then we'll go north to Linus, grab what we can up on the way on there, and then we'll hand him that. We'll get Marnie, or we'll get Robin working on the barn upgrade. And then we'll head back to the mines and see what we can't do. This actually, admittedly, might not be a bad time to make use of this coffee here. We'll move back around to that right side, kind of the middle area of the forest, just to make sure in a little bit here. But yeah, if you're the type that you don't want to bother cooking or don't want to use up your resources this Blackberry season, if you are at level 10 for your foraging, which hopefully you are, but if you're here, this will definitely pay off for you. If there's any way over here by Leah's. Nope. Sometimes these two can have one, and I think there's that one up here, potentially. Yeah, this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and drink another one, since we're still going to be moving around a fair bit here. Yeah, usually IRL I try not to double down on multiple cups of coffee in, well, one sitting in like one day, I guess, predominantly, but every now and again you kind of just need it, you know? I mean, you don't, but you do, but you don't. Actually, we probably should run through town. We'll take the back roads back to the farm and drop off, like, I got an extra stone here, these chanterelles, we'll put those back there. We do want to make sure we do this today, as Robin's going to be closed tomorrow. Yeah, some of the bushes in town potentially can have these too, so don't just forget them. They're responsible for the health of the whole community. It's kind of stressful. It's a pretty small community, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to build up a good relationship with my patients. Almost said with my parents. Ooh, these are both kind of tough. Can I do that? 14 days. I've got 2... I think you can use any eggs. I think duck egg is included in that. So in 14 days, I would be able to get 28 eggs. So yeah, I should be able to do that. We'll give it a go. See what happens. It's for Gus. You know what? Like, we gotta try. If it was anybody else, I'd be like, maybe not. But it's for Gus. You gotta do it for the bro. And don't worry, I am keeping an eye on that clock up there. I haven't forgotten about building the barn, nor have I forgotten about... Oh, right. I did want to check the bookseller, too. How about this quest? What's this? 15 iron ores? We'll try, but I'm not making any promises on that. So the townsfolk are wary of strangers. You have to build up their trust before they open up with you. Just be persistent, you'll get through to them. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did want to try to sell those books and see how much they're worth. I don't know if that's the only place you can sell them. I assume probably, but I also would wager that they're probably at least worth a little bit, right? Given that they're usually pretty hard to come by. For now, I'm just going to dump these in here. Yeah, I'm gonna, even the chanterelles, I'll dump those in there too. Right, and grab the books too. We'll see if we can get to the bookseller in time. I don't know how long the bookseller is open for, to be perfectly honest. I only ever went there on one of my playthroughs because in my earlier playthroughs the bookseller wasn't a thing. But even when I went there, I just went there all at once. Like, I just looked at everything that they had and just kind of bought everything I didn't have all in one go. It's like the bottom of this. The fibers are stained with berry juice. It has been loved. It has been used many times. Linus, you home? He is not home. I might run to Robin first here, since I'm not on as big of a time crunch with her as I am with getting this back to Linus. You can give this back to him while he's asleep. Literally, you can just walk in the tent and give it to him. Hey, Robin, it is time to make the big barn. Houses 8 barn-dwelling animals, allows animals to give birth, unlocks goats. The giving birth part, you can absolutely turn this off, but yes, if you've got multiple, I think multiple of the same animal, I don't think they reproduce asexually, then you can, of course, get more. If you've got 2 cows, you can get an additional cow, goats, you can get more goats, etc. So, let's do it. Okay, I'll start working on your barn upgrade first thing tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. Again, since the time crunch is bigger, I'm going to check with the bookseller before I check with Linus here. Hopefully it does not close at 4, otherwise I'm about to be in for a very big disappointment, because I'm going to run out of time. Are you still open? Hey, very nice. Oh, that's not what this is. Well, it kind of is. You can swap out items for things here. Book of Stars, shouldn't have been surprised there. I think we've seen most of these items before, maybe not the slime egg press. Compress 100 pieces of slime into a slime egg, it's a miracle of science. Fairy dust, though, was the one I was looking at. Sprinkle on kegs, furnaces, and other refining equipment to instantly receive their product. You would normally not get this until much, much later. Yeah, I might go ahead and just turn these in for these rewards. Why not? We can say we've used that ability now, so that's something. Hey, Sam, just saw you there a second ago. Dude, this guy's gonna have the worst sleep of his life. So you've been to the sewer, huh? I stuck down there a few times myself. It's pretty creepy. How can I tell? Let's just say the nose knows. Ew. Also, how'd you get in there without the key? Eat healthier food if I could afford it. Probably been growing a lot of tasty grub on your farm. Dude, that is, like, so prevalent right now. It's so much easier to eat unhealthy from price point alone. I'm like, oh yeah, you could just swing by Little Caesars and get an entire pizza for under $10 with no issue. But, like, man, you try to buy, like, anything, especially if it's anything pre-made, and it's just going to cost you an arm and a leg. So I'm going to assume Linus is probably up here. Yeah. Hey, bud. What's up? My basket. Thank you. This means a lot to me. You're welcome. Here you go. Have a hazelnut as well. That's a good find. I'm always happy when eating wild food. Thank you. You are welcome. Don't have my axe on me, so the wood's kind of stuck there, but I can get the stone at least. This was kind of a poke around type of day more than anything else, but you know what? I'm okay with that. Yeah, Linus will start to hang out around the, once it opens up, which of course it's on a fixed date, so it'll always be open, but he'll start hanging around the spa more often as the weather gets colder. It's kind of a place where he can stay where it's warmer. And from time to time, I think in the winter, you can actually see him in there on certain days. He'll be just hanging out. We haven't really gone in there, but there's really not been a need to, so that's the reason why. But it is a place where you could refill your energy. It's kind of a weird case, because it's kind of really far out of the way in single player, so it's not really worth going that far up to get your energy refilled, especially not by this point where you've got so many other options. I'm going to go ahead and sell these just because... Maybe not the sea urchins, because we do have more limitations on that, but we got plenty of these, so toss these in. And then in a multiplayer file, you could just go to your bed and do the same thing. It would take a little bit more time to get it back, but you wouldn't be making the trip, so it's kind of weird in that regard if it's just not super beneficial. There's some scenes with certain characters that'll take place there. And no, nothing like that, mind you. But yeah, every now and again you'll get a scene in there. Something will be related to it, but it's pretty rare. It's probably one of the less used things in the game, to be perfectly honest. Just as a whole, not by me specifically. So the gold, the coal, stone. There we go. Obviously, we won't be making as much today, but that's because we were busy working on other things. But hey, this good lump of gold right here will be pretty good towards a level. That'll give us a good amount of points there. We'll also get to see the rewards of doing the crop order, because those are going to get shipped. I could have taken them to Pierre and gotten the reward immediately, but you know what? It's okay that we waited. It was weird. Part of the reason I was thinking, maybe don't go for getting the 100 pieces of bones is they're kind of a little hard to get. There's an area later on that's easier to find them, or you can more consistently find them. And here we are finding them right now. But no, I will still stand by that decision. The omelet's actually not too hard to make. As long as you've got basically 2 egg-laying animals, be they chickens or ducks, then you're probably going to be okay. The ducks will be a little bit more difficult, simply due to the fact that they only lay an egg every other day. So you probably do need like 2 chickens proper, but if you've got that, as long as you remember, you're basically good there. Oh, there's some enemies down here. There we go. Could go get that other slime over there, but it's fine. We're probably okay on not needing to get the stone at this point, but I'm still gonna do it for the time being, because even if I do get the barns upgraded, like I said, there's gonna be other stuff you can use the stone for. When it comes to doing the fences, I don't use stone for those, I use hardwood. I think it even says on the description for hardwood fence. Wherever that might be. Yeah, right here. The most durable type. This one's like... Because wood is like, yeah, it exists. Stone, and then iron lasts longer than the stone, but hardwood is the most durable. So hardwood is what I would typically use for my fences to keep them in working order for as long as possible. So I won't be using the stone fencing. Oh, that's right, he did want me to collect that. That's alright, though. I suppose I could go back and try after I get through killing this dude over here and taking that big rock out. Well, is today the last day on that? No, not that. No, it would be the day after this. Yeah, I could give that a go. Why not? Surely I've got at least one ore that I also need to take to him anyway, so... Yeah, provided I can get, like, a decent amount of each time that I run down here, I'm okay with willing to kind of click the wrong button by force of habit. I'm willing with kind of staying out a tiny bit longer than normal. That's probably worth more than, like, the slime, for example. It is a glow ring that I already have, but it can still sell for more than a few pieces of slime, so I'll take it. If that was any other enemy, I would have just passed on it, but coal. Gotta get that coal. This will probably be our last pass. If we don't get it, we can always just come back the next day, grab it, and if we feel like it, taking it back to Clint. Yeah, just 11. Alright. Let's get out of here before we pass out again. Don't want to do that. Toss this in here, I guess, for now, because this can't be thrown in the shipping bin. Put those in there. I'll keep those for Sebastian. And I'll actually keep that for Emily, too. Quartz, sure we can... Oh, no, probably not. We'll put these in here. I think we'll keep just about everything else. Put all of this away. Put these away. Put the crab in there. Gold bars up. Probably be harvesting more blackberries, but yeah, that'll give you an idea. You can make some... You can get a pretty good amount of blackberries. Not all of those were from blackberry season, but a pretty good chunk of them were. There's some melon wine. We'll take it to bed with us and just not open it up. It's fine. So yeah, pretty good amount there. 14,000. That was more than we spent on the barn upgrade. So here's looking what the cranberries are like. Granted, this is me throwing all of them in there, but like that was just one set of them, and that was what we'll just round this and say it's 2, and we could probably round again. So we'll say 6, 2, and 2. So that's 10 right there. 10,000 G of that 14,000, and then the rest came from this, which is, you know, it's its usual. The gold bars, like I said, 250 each, so they're not too bad. So it is a pretty good way to make money. And we still have to wait a little bit before upgrading the barn again anyway, so... And then, of course, tomorrow I'll pick this up. But yes, 4,100 G for getting that crop order done. I'm going to leave that for the time being, and even if I did click on it, of course, we would just be seeing that when I reset to start the day anyway, so no big deal there. But that will end it off for this episode. I think I'm going to get one more recorded of this, so... Making good progress on our money situation. I think by the time that Robin is available to upgrade the barn again, we should be able to upgrade it again. Or, potentially, I might go ahead and start throwing some of this into the money bundles. We'll see what happens. Until then, thank you all for watching. This has been pitmarthroy here on Fantasy Farm with Stardew Valley, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.